Okay, can you give me a thumbs up? Can you see me okay? And can you hear me okay? Lovely, fabulous. Okay, so we're just going to start on your mats, feet about hip width apart. We're just going to start moving this morning. So just start by rolling your shoulders. I talk a lot, by the way. I talk pretty much non-stop. So I try to talk and move so that I'm not talking and you're not doing anything. So just roll your shoulders. As you roll your shoulders, pick up your toes. So stretch your toes, pick them up, and just feel that lovely movement already, just rolling your shoulders like that. Just encouraging blood flow to the upper body, just getting the blood flowing around the body, waking up the muscles, joints, lubricating those shoulder joints. Just do that a couple more times. Pick up your toes, roll your shoulders, and then change so that you're lifting your heels as you roll your shoulders. So lift up your heels, and then heels come down as you roll your shoulders. So the type of Pilates, those of you who've done my class for a long time, you know, it's like clinical Pilates, so it's suitable for you if you've got any injuries, if you're just returning from surgery, or if you're postnatal, or even if you're fit and healthy but just want to move and stretch. And then do that one more time and bring your heels down. Take your feet about just a bit wider than shoulder width apart. We're going to do some nice hip circles. So you're going to start off nice and small, and just notice as we go through the warm-up, notice any parts of your body that feel a little bit stiff or sticky, and then maybe you can just draw attention to those body parts as we go through the class. So for those of you who haven't done Pilates before, hopefully you've had a chance to just keep changing direction, by the way. Hopefully you've had a chance to look at my introductory videos. If you haven't, it would still be worthwhile you doing them after you've done this class. It just gives you the kind of key points of Pilates, how to activate your core, a little bit of information about breathing, and then go the other way one more time. All right, bring your hands above your head. You're going to lose my hands, but they are there, I promise you. So keeping your feet where we are, this time just circling the upper body. So imagine you've got a pencil on the end of your fingers and you want to draw big circles on the ceiling. So instead of the lower body moving, this time it's the upper body. So again, start off with nice small circles. If this doesn't work for your shoulders or your back, then do your circles with your arms here. All right, there's always options. That's a good one for shoulders. Change direction if you haven't changed direction. And then you can make your circles a little bit bigger if you want to, but just keep your knees bent while we're warming up. And if you feel any straining in your back, make your circles small again, or bring your arms down. So just go once more all the way around, and then come back to the center, bring your arms down, keep your legs where they are. So you're going to take a big breath in, spread your fingers, sweep your fingers up towards the ceiling, just open up and stretch the space between your ribs and your pelvis. And then as you breathe out, just bend your knees and fold forward. And again, it's a big stretch up and breathe out. You can keep your heels down. If you want more of a challenge, you can lift your heels as you come up. Breathing out, down, breathing in as you rise up. 2 more times. Keep those knees bent. You don't have to reach all the way to the floor. And last one. Bring your heels down, bring your arms out to the side. So just going into your rib slide. So for those of you who haven't done this before, we're starting to wake up your core, wake up your abdominals. Use your abdominals to help slide and support as you slide your ribs across the top of your pelvis. So legs stay still, you're moving your upper body. You're going to turn your head, look over one hand, and then look over the other. And just to have a little stretch and move as you go side to side. Next time you come to your left, just pausing there, windmill your arms, one up, one down, and then we're going to bend your knees and circle around 3 times. 3, 4, and last one, 5. Okay, come and pause here, and then we're going to go to the other side, reach up, and then circle round. Again, keeping those knees nice and bent. And we'll do one more after this one, and then just pausing here. Bring your hands back onto your pelvis, go back to those circles, hip circles. These are one of my favourite exercises, especially if you do a lot of work sitting at a desk. Just standing up occasionally and doing some of these really helps just to get the blood flowing to the lower back, the hips and the pelvis. Just go once more all the way around, and then come back to the centre. Okay, walking your feet back to about hip width apart. Relax those arms. And we're just going to start to have the arms go forwards and back. So forwards and back, not really doing much, just nice and loose. So try and really relax your arms and your shoulders when you do this. And then you can start to just pedal the feet as well, so opposite sides, so that you're walking. Then you can make it a bit more active as well if you want, so lifting both heels off the floor as if you're walking on the spot. So what I'm seeing, and that's fine, is lots of side to side movements with the hips. I want you to think now if you can go more straight up and straight down, rather than sashaying side to side like a catwalk model. So when you think about going up and down rather than side to side, what happens is you start to engage your glutes, your buttocks a bit more. So we do lots of work on your buttocks, trying to activate your glutes. Okay, so now instead of your arms just going forwards, can you rotate your upper body to the side? So your head stays, your eyes stay looking forward, and you start to just rotate your upper body. So you get a little bit of rotation through the lower part of your neck and the upper part of your back. So again, really good if you do a lot of sitting at a desk or looking down at a screen. And then you can make that movement a little bit bigger if you want. So just rotate your head now as well if that doesn't make you feel dizzy. If it does, then keep your eyes facing forwards. Just do a couple more each way and then come back to the center. Okay, bring your feet back out to hip width apart. Sorry, that's not hip width, shoulder width apart. Take a breath in, reach your arms up, breathing out, bend your knees, fold forward again. So you should be starting to get a little bit looser and feel that blood just pumping a little bit more around your body. If you're still a bit stiff and still warming up, then just take it easy still. Okay, step together with your feet now, and then you're going to step out to the side as you come down. Step together with your feet and just move to the other side. So just adding a little bit of lateral movement now. Stepping to one side. So bend those knees, go into a nice deep squat. If you want to, turn your toes out to the side, but keep your chest up nice and tall. Okay, we're going to go one more out to the side here. Just pause here, bring your hands onto your thighs. I'm right in the sun here, I'm going to come back to the center. Roll your shoulders back. Push your knees out over your toes and just allow yourself to sink down, relaxing the shoulders. So we don't want any tension in the shoulders, give them a little wiggle. So you want to feel here that your weight's evenly distributed between the heels, the balls of your feet and your toes. And we're just going to do some really slow down and ups. So those of you who want to do some pelvic floor work, as you come up, lift your pelvic floor. If you're new to Pilates and you haven't done any pelvic floor, don't worry about it too much. Just concentrate on the movement today. So down and up. Relax on the way down, activate on the way up. We'll do 4, 3, add your arms, 2, and then the last one, just pause here. Oh, how are those legs? From here, bring yourself up to standing, turn your feet back to face the front, bring your arms out to the side again. So imagine somebody's pulling on each of your fingers. We'll go back to that rib slide. So do you feel any different now? We've moved a little bit. So think again about, can you use your abdominals to support you? One more each way. And then once again, just windmill your arms. This time, bringing that arm right over by your ear if you can. If you can't, just bring your hand onto your shoulder. And then turn down and look towards the floor. From here, we're going to bend the knees and we're going to rotate. So you can take that arm a little bit further into rotation and then breathe in and open up to the side and behind. So you're taking your arm on a diagonal. So breathing in, bend your knees, rotate forward and then open up. 2 more times and open. And last one, reaching down and opening up. Okay, change arms. So let's slide first, then do your windmill. Take that top arm, if it's available to you, over by your ear and look down towards the floor. From here, just bending your knees, taking the arm on a slight diagonal. So make sure that arm's nice and relaxed and then open up. So always think about the image of branches or leaves just blowing in the breeze. So your arm is nice and relaxed, so you're not carrying too much tension in your shoulder. Breathe out as you come forward, breathe in as you open. Do that once more. And then come back up. Okay, from here, just take your hands behind your back. Think about drawing your shoulder blades together, but without overarching your back. And then just think about sending your big thumbs down towards the floor. Bring your feet in a little bit closer, and then you're going to hinge forward here, so you've got a nice flat back. From here, take your hands behind you, so away from your bottoms if you can. Keep your chest up high, and then as you breathe out, bend your knees, sweep your fingers down, and rise up towards the ceiling. You can lift your heels if you want a little challenge. Do that again. Heels come down, interlink your fingers, draw your shoulder blades together, soften your knees. Take a breath in here, breathe out, release the arms, fingertips drag along the floor if you can, and then lift your heels and rise up. Do that all once more. This is your little breather. Down, sweep your fingers down, breathing out, rise up onto the balls of your feet. Just pause here. Can you bring your hands together in front of you? Lift your heels if you can. If you can't, just keep your heels down on the floor. Close your eyes and just have a moment of stillness in your balance. I didn't say to you at the beginning, but if you can, try and do this standing work without your socks on, because it just helps you to wake up all the nerve endings in your feet. And then bring your heels down, bring your arms down, and just roll your shoulders. Turn your head to the left and then to the right, and hopefully you should feel a little bit warmer and ready to go. Okay, so we're going to go into our squats to start off with in terms of the main body. So bring your feet out to both shoulder width apart. When you're squatting, I'm going to show you side on. I'm not the best squatter in the world because I've got quite tight ankles. But you want to take your bottom backwards. So the first movement you do is you hinge at the hips. So if you bring your hands to just either side to make a V around your pubic bone, at the creases at the top of your hips, and then just hinge forward and slightly bend your knees. So you don't want to fold all the way forward. You go to about 30 degrees, and as you do that, your bottom automatically goes backwards. So as if you've got a chair behind you. So that's your first part of your squat. And then your second part is you just bend your knees and you keep going. So you keep your back nice and straight. You can bring your arms out to counterbalance and then stand up. So you can see that's probably, I can't go very far. If I were to go further, I'd have to really fold my body or put something underneath my heels. But if you're quite flexible at your ankles, I can see a few of you there can get down so you get a nice 90-degree angle at your knee. You don't need to go below 90. So just work within your range of movement. Also, if you've got any knee pain, you can make your squats nice and small. So you can just do mini squats. All right, so we're going to keep going. I'm going to talk you through a few little tips when you're squatting. So when you squat, most of us use our quads. We want to change that so that we use our bottom muscles, our buttocks. So when you come up, I want you to think about pushing your heels into the floor. And as you push your heels in, you should hopefully feel your bottoms firming up. If you're not sure, take your hands onto your bottoms. So they should be nice and relaxed on the way down, and then you should feel them firming up on the way up. So we're just going to do 4 more like that. We're going to do a little bit of work on our bottoms later when we're on the floor. We're also going to work our core and our abdominals and pelvic floor. And last one, pause here. So in this position, can you then take your arms by your ears? If you can't, just bring your hands across your shoulders. So this is always your option. If you can't take your arms up, just bring them here. And then take your hands behind your back. So you want to feel in this position that your back is nice and flat. Imagine you've got a broom handle running from the back of your head to your tail. And just do some little pulses up with your hands. So as you do this, try not to look forward at your screen. Look down towards the end of your mat. And that will just stop you putting any tension through the back of your neck. So little pulses up with the hands, squeezing the shoulder blades together for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your hands onto your thighs and just stand up nice and tall. So if you've been doing those right, you might feel a little bit of work that went on in the back of the legs and the bottom. Okay, bring your hands onto your thighs, stand up nice and tall. So I want you to think about, imagine that you've got a piece of string that runs all the way from your pubic bone up through underneath your rib cage, up through your chest and all the way up towards the ceiling. So it makes you stand up nice and tall. And then from here, you're just going to nod your chin towards your chest. You use your hands on your thighs and you're going to just allow yourself to roll down. Slightly soften your knees. So some of you, if you've got any back injuries, you might only want to go to your knees. Some of you who are nice and flexible, don't have any problems with their back, might just be tight hamstrings, can roll down a little bit further. Breathe in at the bottom and then breathe out and stack your vertebra one at a time to come up. So I want you to go really slowly when you do this. So we're just having a little pause from our squats. Go nice and slowly. This is more about mobilizing and just lengthening out the back of the body and then roll back up. So do that once more in your own time. Really enjoy this. Sounds a bit strange to say that, but work with your breath. You breathe out as you roll down. So you're starting that thought of synchronizing your movement and your breath, and breathe in at the bottom and then breathe out as you roll back up and stack one vertebra on top of the other. When you get to the top again, just roll your shoulders. Don't rush if you're still going. Don't rush, don't rush, don't rush. And then bring your palms to face forward. I want you to imagine you're between two panes of glass now as we just go side to side. So just notice any tightness down the side of your body as you do this, because hopefully it won't be there when we repeat this at the end. Okay, so reach away now and turn your head towards your hands. So you're starting to use your abdominals now to come back up if you can. So support yourself by drawing your navel in towards your spine to bring you back to the centre. And we're just going to do one more each way. Good. And then back to the centre. Okay, we're going to go into our squats again, but this time a split squat. So can you take one foot in front of the other? Let's go left foot forward. Bring your hands onto your pelvis. Your back foot, it depends which way you're doing, you probably want about that width apart, so not very far at all. And then you're going to keep your back nice and straight and just bend your back knee. So if I do that sideways on, you bend your back knee until it's parallel with the floor. Some of you, again, must be nice and flexible and strong. Kick can take your knee quite far down. Others might only be able to go to there. So nice and relaxed on the way down, eyes facing forwards. Press into your front heel to stand up. Breathe in, breathe out. So again, when we do these quite a lot, especially women, they're very quad dominant, so you want to use the muscles at the front of your legs. I want you to try and fire up your glutes, so the muscles at the back of your leg. So press into your front heel should help to fire up your bottom muscles. Okay, release your arms, and then I want you to take your hands down as if you're putting a box down on the floor and then picking it back up. We did this last night, so down and up. Press your heel in on the way up, down and up. Okay, this time you put the box on the shelf in front of you and stand up. Keep the shoulders nice and relaxed. Good. If your knees have had enough, you can have a little rest. Otherwise, this time the box goes up to the top, down, and one more time. Brilliant. From here, you're going to, in one movement, if you can, this is where you might need a chair or something to balance, shift your weight, without doing that, onto your front foot. So you can have your back toe on the floor. And then I want to imagine you've got a wall in front of you that you can put your hands on, so you bring your body more upright. Lift the back heel, toe even, and pulse the heel up towards the ceiling. If you were to put your hand on that buttock, it should be nice and firm. You don't want to feel that there's lots of movement going on in your lower back, so you don't need to lift your leg very high. Add your arms if you want to. If that doesn't work, arms across your chest. So 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pause here. We're going to come further forward if you want to. If that doesn't work for you, just stay where you were. Take your arms down by your side, and then in this position, little pulses up with the back of the arms up towards the ceiling for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That is hard work. Well done. Just pedal out your feet. Well done, everyone. Okay, we're going to do that on the other side. So switch feet. So we start off just with the down and up. So split squats. These are great exercises just for getting your glutes, pelvic floor going. So if you want to on this side, if you want to do your pelvic floor as well, on the way back up, think about pressing your big toe in and that will help to activate your pelvic floor as well. Okay, so this time start to pop your box down on the floor. So you keep your back nice and straight as you down and back up. And then this time your box goes on the shelf in front of you, down and up. Once again, if your knees have had enough, have a little rest, just do some hip circles. Everybody else, you can go into putting the box on the shelf above you. Just do one more of those. And then shifting your weight into your front foot, eyes just looking down about a metre ahead of you. And then we're going to do some those little pulses. Sorry, bring your body more upright before you go. Little pulses with that back heel. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your arms forward, body comes forward. Pause here. Take your arms behind you. Little pulses with the arms now. So as you pulse the arms, you want the hips to be square. So if you had headlights on your hip bones, they would both be shining down towards the floor. If you can't manage that, just pop your back foot down, or just even stand up tall and pulse your arms. Okay, last couple. And then from here, just bring your foot down and then pedal out your feet. So if you struggle with balance or you can't do single leg work, just do the upper body movements with both feet on the floor. Okay, nice big hip circles. Back to our hip circles again. Just go a couple of times in each direction. Okay, we've got one more thing in standing to do, and then we're going to come down onto the floor. So you're going to take your arms, you're going to cross your arms either side of your thighs, just above your knees, and let your head just drop down. So relax your shoulders, relax through the back of your neck, knees are nice and soft. As you breathe in, you're going to burst open your arms out to the side. Try not to overarch your back, so you want to think about going up. So think about that piece of string lengthening you up as you open your arms. So you're going to breathe out and then breathe in. Imagine you're pressing the back of your hands, back of your arms into a wall that's behind you. Can you press the back of your ribs into that wall as well? And that will stop you overarching. So again, a really nice way of just opening up, stretching out your chest, moving the upper body. We're going to add a little rotation on. So from here, just rotate to the left and come back and rotate to the right. I always call this my, it's like a sunflower. So you go from being all curled up to bursting open. So we're just going to do one more each side. And open, and then come back to the centre, roll your shoulders, shake out your legs, and if you've got some water, go and grab a little drink of water, and then we're going to meet down on your mat. So we're going to come down onto your hands and knees on your mat. So if you need to just move your screens so that you can see me and I can see you, you can just move them down now. It's the other benefit of you guys being on mute, that you can't hear everybody as they move their screens around. Okay, so don't rush, but if you're already on hands and knees, you can just do some cat stretches here if you know what you're doing, or you can just get your setup right, so shoulders above wrists, hips above knees, and then to start off with today, we're going to tuck your toes under and have your knees and feet nice and wide. So I want you to imagine that you've got a tray of drinks balanced on your lower back, and you're just going to shift your weight forwards and backwards, but you're not going to spill your drinks. If this doesn't work for your wrists, the options are to go onto your fists, or you can come down onto your forearms. Okay. So as you start to shift your weight now, can you start to think about drawing your navel in towards your spine as you come forward and lifting up your pelvic floor? So again, those of you who are not sure about it, if you watch the introductory videos, you'll see how to activate your pelvic floor, how to activate your abdominals. Make sure as you take your bottom back, you release your pelvic floor and you relax your abdominals. So you can start to make the movements a little bit bigger by taking your arms further forward. But can you keep that tray balanced on your back? Can you keep connection to your pelvic floor and to your abdominals? Okay. This time we're going to lose the tray And you're going to let your pelvis drop down towards the floor, draw your shoulders back and chest forward. And then push your bottom back towards your heels. So a bit of a bigger range of movement now. If that doesn't work for you, just find the range of movement that does. So you don't feel you have to come all the way forward, all the way back. Okay, this is a really lovely exercise, especially if you feel a bit stiff in your back in the morning, just to get it moving. And then we're just going to pause here, untuck your toes, shift your body weight forward, drop your pelvis down, roll your shoulders back and just look straight ahead of you. And breathe, don't forget to breathe. Okay. And then come back up. We're going to go in a big circle now. So we're going to circle your pelvis to one side or bottom. So imagine you had a tail on your tailbone. You want to draw big circles with it behind you. The further your hands are from your knees, the bigger the circles. And then go the other way. So if you need padding underneath your knees, best things to do is just roll your mat over a couple of times. And one more all the way around. Good. Okay, from here, you're going to shift your weight forward, keep your elbows in, and with control, lower yourself down all the way to the floor. All right, bring your hands underneath your forehead. Let your forehead just touch down to the floor. Again, we did this one last night, so for those of you who've done it, you can just crack on with it. So we're going to lengthen one leg away, and as you lengthen that leg away, I want you to notice that you can activate your glutes again. Doesn't matter which legs, we're going to do both. So you want to think about pushing your foot further away from you, and as you do that, you should feel firmness in your buttock. And just alternate sides, left and right. If you're not sure, you can put your hands on your bottom. And if they're still not working, send a message from your brain to your bottom to say, as I straighten my leg, I need to use my bottom muscles to do that. Okay, so you can either carry on with that, or you can lengthen away and then keep going until your leg starts to just float off the floor, and then lower back down and relax. Change to the other side. So you want to make sure when you do this that it's your bottom muscles that are helping you out, and the back of your leg muscles, and not your lower back muscles. So just check in. It's really hard on Zoom because I can't see your glutes really individually, but check that they are doing what they're supposed to do by using your hands. Okay, the other thing you can do is to draw your navel in towards your spine as you do this. So as you breathe out, draw your belly in and then release down. And again, breathing out, lengthen, breathing in as you come down. Okay, so you can stick with that version. Next level is to bring your arms out in front of you. And as you lengthen one leg away, you do the same with the opposite arm. So it's like swimming. In fact, it's called swimming. If that doesn't work for your shoulders and your neck, just stick with the first version. Your options are also to start to peel your forehead and your chest off the floor as you lift opposite arm and opposite leg. Again, if that doesn't work for you, just keep your forehead down. It's not a problem. And then the final version is to go a little bit quicker so that you're moving more dynamically. But if that doesn't work for your back, just stick with the slower version. So the more dynamic version is like your breaststroke, and you're doing a crawl in the water, kicking your legs and kicking your arms. We're just going to do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let your head rest down. Turn your head to one side. So if you do that, I didn't really say it there, but it's important to keep your eyes facing down towards your mat so that you're not lifting up and stressing the muscles in your neck. Okay, from here, turn your palms to face your thighs. Slide your fingertips down your thighs and squeeze your shoulder blades together. So you're going to feel your fronts of your shoulders coming away from your mat. Turn your head to the front. If you're worried about your neck at all, you can keep your head down on the floor. Otherwise, just forehead hovering a couple of centimetres from the floor. And then you're going to breathe in, turn your head the other way. So you come down with your cheek to the other side. So you're breathing out, turn your head to the centre. Fingers reaching towards your feet. And breathing in as you come back down. And again, breathing out. coming up. So don't forget your tummy muscles. Yes, this is a back exercise, but we want to also think about drawing your navel in towards your spine, because that's going to help to support your muscles in your lower back and support your spine as well. So we're just going to do one more. From here, bring your arms out to the side into a T if you can. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Then you're going to tuck your toes and you're going to push yourself up onto all fours. Well done everyone. Have a little wiggle there. Just let your tail wiggle side to side. And then we're going to go into a little cat stretch. So cat stretch, when you start off, you want your back to be nice and flat. And then as you breathe out, you're going to tuck your chin towards your chest, tuck your tail, if you had a tail, between your legs, so you're rounding your spine. You're going to do that on an out breath. You breathe in and come back to a flat back. Keep breathing in now, and you send your tail long out behind you and draw your shoulder blades back, and your head can come up or your head can just stay looking down at your mat. So on your out breath, you round your spine. Again, use, if you want to turn this into an abdominal and pelvic floor exercise, tummy in, lift your pelvic floor, and then you release as you go into extension. So can you do that a few times in your own time? As I said, you can do it as an abdominal exercise, or you can do it more as just a mobility for your back spine exercise. So make this your last one. Well done everyone, and then come back to the centre and just give your tail, imaginary tail, a little rock, a little wag side to side. And now I want you to imagine that you've got that tail on your tailbone, you're going to do some circles with it. So this is a really nice way of just mobilising the lower back. If your wrists are starting to get sore, you can do this on your forearms, remember. Don't always have to be on all fours, or if they're still sore, come up and do this on your knees. So just do some kneeling hip circles. Make sure you go both ways. And then from here, you're just going to sit back on your heels, stretch your, turn your palms to face upwards. If you get your forehead on the floor, rest it on the floor. If you can't, make two little fists and rest your forehead on your fists. Relax those shoulders and just take some nice deep breaths into your lower back. So can you let your lower back go into the back of your ribs, and then into the space between the shoulder blades as well. Just try and, as you breathe out, just release any tension.